Oh man.
All right, if anybody's watching, you can see us now. Okay, recorder is on. I think we've covered the news, or yeah, whatever. We went over the news well enough. I think it's time for some intro music. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
Here we go. Welcome to the Iron Sysadmin podcast, your source for IT news, commentary, and a healthy dose of paranoia. Hey, folks, and welcome to another episode of Iron Sysadmin. Joining me tonight, once again, as usual, we have Jason from his secret basement missile silo.
Yes. Yes, secret basement missile silo. That's where I live.
Yeah, and since he didn't make too much of a fool of himself last time around, we've got Dustin joining us again.
All right, I'm allowed back. Hello.
Yeah, you're allowed back. We're gonna have to get you a new mic now too, though, because everyone complained about Jason's for all those episodes.
That's only because it was me.
People just don't like you, right?
No, you've gotten better at the whole audio thing, so I'm sure his mic sounds just fine now. And there was nothing wrong with my mic to begin with.
I'm sure that was it. It was all my fault before, right? Not yours at all. It couldn't be an equipment thing. All right, so first up in the news, man, yet another vulnerability in everyone's favorite operating system, Linux.
Always happens the best.
Yeah, so I got this. I just happened to be logging into Red Hat's customer portal for something else, and in this nice red bar across the top in the header is CVE 2017-10000253. It's apparently an issue with what do they say? Load elf binary does not allocate sufficient space, which apparently comes down to like a Stack Overflow, right?
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Apparently, if you try to give your elf some pie, it Stack Overflows.
Well, I thought they liked candy canes, no?
Well, I mean, this talking about pie. I don't know.
Too much pie.
So, in a nutshell, when it loads the binary, part of the data segment can be loaded right on top of the stack, which is bad. So, and the stack what's on the stack gets executed. Then you have privilege escalation, and then you have Equifax.
Position independent executables is what they're referring to as PI. It's apparently a flag you can pass to GCC. I don't fully understand what PI gets you, other than
happiness,
fat,
and and happiness.
PI makes you fat and happy.
Security mechanism intended to increase the difficulty of attackers by allowing for randomization of memory location. Okay. So a security feature is now a exploit.
That's terrible. Why does that surprise you?
Yeah, it shouldn't. Really shouldn't.
Nope.
All right, so if you've got Linux systems, I don't know, is this a kernel vuln? I didn't really read that deeply into it. I failed.
Yeah, it's basically a kernel vulnerability.
I failed horribly. I was trying to see what kernel was. Here, let's see. Resolve. Take action.
Kernel version prior to 3.10.0-693.
There you go. That's why we have him around.
Right. Sometimes. And for those of you that are on RHEL 7.2 or greater, you can do the K-patch thing, which allows you to live patch it.
Yeah, K-patch. I still haven't tried that yet.
Me either.
I've only tried it once. It's neat. Live patching is scary.
Does it make you feel happy afterwards?
Well, wait, I mean, think about back in the day when you're compiling your own kernels and things go wrong, and
it used to be Used to be the only reason I ever had to reboot my Linux box was to patch the kernel. Now you don't even have that.
Right. Isn't it great? The
Windows
future is
will never.
awesome.
Windows will never catch up.
They tried doing that with server 2012, I think, or 2012 R2, and they were supposed to allow live updates.
How many horrible blue screens did that cause?
I don't know. I never saw it.
Who invited the guy who defends Microsoft on this podcast?
Hey, I'm not defending Microsoft. I'm just saying they tried, man. They tried.
They tried.
And they just kind of silently disappeared.
Like, you know what? That was a bad idea. Let's not do that. All right. So on to everybody's favorite credit reporting bureau.
Definitely my favorite.
Yeah, right. So yeah, apparently, you know, that the 2.5 million, was it 2.5 million? No, what was the first breach? It was like
146 million.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently
That's
after 146 million, they've now realized that there's another 2.5 million records that have been breached. It's like, why even bother? why even tell us at this point? It's like, hey,
because they have to. It's the law.
We have the stuff, and now everyone else has the stuff. So,
you know, it would be interesting if it ever does actually become kind of publicly accessible to graph it all out, kind of like what they do with the voting, state by state.
Yeah,
what percentage of people in that state are affected by it? God, see how terrible
this whole thing is. Like, I mean, the DerbyCon keynote, which we may touch on later, really said it best. What the heck are we trying to protect anymore? I mean, what's left?
Porn.
Okay.
And Pornhub does a wonderful job with their security.
But I mean, seriously,
I'm actually being serious. They really do.
Well, yeah, but they have good content management too. They have CDNs.
What of consequence is left?
Are you disparaging porn?
Well, I'm saying if you're gonna compare my personal privacy to an industry that's very definition is exposing everything, it's kind of a hard leap.
All right, touche.
All right, so yeah, Equifax. Hey, I don't know. I really can't give you any advice here. Don't use No, you can't say that. If you used Equifax, oh no, you can't really say. You're screwed. Sorry. Moving on.
Pretty much.
If you live in the
US,
tagline,
Equifax, you're screwed.
If you live in the US, your data is gone. I'm sorry.
Oh, you changed your social security number? Good luck.
Yeah, right. I guess that'd be about it. I need to change my identity. Like, there needs to be a run on identity changes right now. Everyone needs new identities.
You're not going to have credit history. Is it worth it? Yes.
Yeah. I think from now on, like, if I'm turned down for a loan, I'm just going to say it was Equifax. It's not my fault.
That's a good excuse.
All right. Microsoft and music. Jason, this one's yours. You wanna just go on your tirade? Go ahead.
Oh, it's not really a tirade. I just thought it was funny. So back in 2008, I believe it was, Microsoft. So prior to 2008, they had this thing called MSN Music, and that was back when the
did anybody
DRM,
actually use that?
Apparently, that was back in the DRM craze days, where it was music, so it had to be DRM'd.
Was this for use with the Zune?
I love the Zune.
So
like the same
MSN
era?
Music was prior to Zune, and
okay.
the Zune marketplace apparently replaced MSN Music. And then in 2008, after I want to say Microsoft at one point said, "Don't worry, we're never gonna, like, your music will be safe forever. It's not a big deal. We'll keep running it." Microsoft came out and said, "Hey guys, remember that time I said your music was safe?" And they shut off the servers. So basically, if you had purchased music from MSN Music, there was a short period of time where you were able to like register that last computer so that it had the keys on it for the DRM. Of course, now if you that computer ever dies, you have to reset it or anything, and you lose those keys, your music is gone.
But whoever has to
So,
reinstall a Windows machine, they run forever.
Right.
Especially with the last operating system, Windows 10.
Yeah.
So Microsoft, I mean, it's not quite as bad this time, but they tried at least a third, possibly more, music store type thing called Groove Music, which honestly I hadn't even heard about until I noticed this article about the fact that Groove Music is going offline and Microsoft is going to give everybody Spotify.
Sorry, Microsoft. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, they're just not very good at this music thing.
Yeah, I mean this highlights the same problem with any service that you're paying for. I mean, all it takes is for them to decide to close the doors and they're gone.
Right. I mean, at least this time around, at least from what I'm reading, people aren't going to lose like their entire collections of music. Because,
yeah, I mean, I find it a little bit harder to believe from a big player like Microsoft, but I mean, Google does this all the damn time. It's really frustrating. They'll just suddenly decide, that thing that we've been working on and we hyped up and we've given it to you for free. Yeah, we're just going to turn it off. You have 6 months to get off, or at best, 6 months.
It was only a beta, okay?
Yeah,
it was only a beta. You never should have been trusting it anyway. Right.
So yes, yet again.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next? Oh yes, Puerto Rico.
You've heard about this little place called Puerto Rico that's in very bad shape at the moment.
So, and we'll touch a little bit on the Puerto Rico stuff later, but
I figured we'd touch on that during the main topic.
Yep. So turns out Tesla has been shipping Powerwall batteries to Puerto Rico since Hurricane Maria went through. Hundreds and hundreds of them apparently, and they're
fully charged, I hope.
I hope so. They're installing them, and I guess they're looking for they're hooking up the solar panels so they can be charged. And if you think about it, it's kind of, on the one hand, it's like that's awesome, Tesla's helping Puerto Rico, and on the other hand, it's kind of brilliant. It may actually rocket Puerto Rico past most other countries in technology wise with their new improved power grid.
Yeah, not only are they receiving electricity, which will be helpful, and a way to fuel that electricity via solar power, they're also getting sustainable energy. That's sort
pretty
of
awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't think it's in this article. I don't see it in this article, but the other article I read about this, Elon chipped in $250K of his own money to the Puerto Rico Relief Fund as well. So
he couldn't afford more? What the hell?
What? Well,
I'm kidding. I'm not trying to make light of a terrible situation. Just
no. So yeah, I mean, we might as well take the time to say, all the victims of the hurricanes in Houston and Florida and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and all those little islands that are in that whole Florida Key area. It's Mother Nature seems to be a little upset these days. So
seems to be, yeah.
All right, and next up is one of yours, Nate.
Trevor.
No.
No, that's the way I have it in the order. We could do Nintendo first, I suppose.
Oh, you switched it around.
Then we'll lead straight on. Then we'll lead straight on into DerbyCon and the craziness which ensues.
I screwed it up. I'm gonna go sit in the corner and cry now.
Go sit in the corner. All right. So you may remember our article from last time around where Mario is no longer a plumber. I figured I'd follow this up with another article I just read the other day. You may remember in the Super Mario World game where Yoshi made his first debut. Mario makes this funny little action whenever Yoshi sticks out his tongue. Turns out that all these years, Mario has been punching Yoshi in the head to make him stick out his tongue. I mean, think about that. Your childhood, well, maybe not your childhood, depends how old you are, I suppose. For Dustin, it was probably adulthood. Is based on this horrible violence.
Dustin, you know what a Nintendo is, right?
Yes, yes. My childhood started at Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
But it was
this was
actually
a
older
Super
than me.
Nintendo game.
Right? What year did that come out, the Super Nintendo?
Early 90s, if I remember.
Oh, so maybe I was older than it.
91, 92.
A couple years, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. C is for computer. It's good enough for me.
C is for computer. It's so anyway,
now you're gonna make me go find my book.
Yeah, Nintendo did their best to make it to sort of cover this up by adding a funny little sound effect so that it looked like Mario was more or less just telling Yoshi what to do. But a recent interview with where the heck's the guy's name? I'll butcher this anyway, I think. One of the Nintendo developers, Takashi Tezuka? And wow, I'll never be able to pronounce that. Read the article, guys. Mario was originally designed to punch Yoshi in the head. Hino confirmed fans. What is that noise? Was that an echo? Yeah, confirmed fans' worst fears in the interview on Nintendo's blog published on Thursday. Mario wasn't pointing at Yoshi to go forth, rather clobbering him over the head. What are you looking for, Jason? Can't find whatever you were looking for?
I can't find. I have it. I can't find it, and it actually. I have the Kermit Teaches Windows book.
Okay. Someone is looking up Mario sounds. That was obviously the sound of Yoshi being mounted or dismounted.
Whoa.
Hey.
Mario's been donkey punching him all these years. I mean,
poor Yoshi. Poor Yoshi's been so abused.
Oh boy. Poor guy.
So moving on.
I
don't know how many of our listeners went to DerbyCon. But who's playing with the sound effects? Do I have to go find some Mario sound effects for the soundboard?
Yes.
I mean, there's only one answer to that.
Yeah, I guess that is an absolute yes.
Good.
Right. All right, so I am utterly surprised that there are news articles about this. I mean, I shouldn't say I'm that surprised, but there was a nice little event at DerbyCon this year, completely unplanned, of course, as it usually goes at DerbyCon, where actually one of the speakers goes by the name of Grifter, was over at the Smash Burger across the street from the Hyatt where the conference is held, and found a happy little friend swimming in his milkshake. Maybe not so happy after he sucked him up through a straw and killed him, but he found a cockroach. Ew.
That's what you call adding protein to your shake.
Yeah, I mean, pretty nasty stuff. And he took to Twitter simply stating, be careful, folks. We found a cockroach. And Smashburger quickly responded and quickly closed the franchise, not the whole franchise, but that branch, whatever you call that, the place where the burgers are made across from the street from the Hyatt. So they responded pretty quickly and all. And then, the conference sort of went on. But on Sunday evening, after the conference is over, well, we'll just say that when hackers get bored, funny things happen. So a couple years ago, a guy skipped out on his ice and forgot his laptop bag at the conference, and hilarity ensued, which involved a trip to the sex toy shop. It was pretty funny. This year, there was a memorial set up to Trevor the Cockroach.
Trevor Forget.
Yes, there was.
Trevor Forget. There was a trending hashtag, and I mean, like, trending as in you would actually see it at the top of your results if you went to search on Twitter.
Yep.
Which is pretty damn...
It's impressive.
Pretty funny. Pretty impressive. Yeah. That this ridiculous little thing is trending on Twitter. So yeah, people set up a shrine to Trevor in front of the Smash Burger across from the Hyatt.
Don't forget the t-shirts.
I remember... Oh yeah, there were T-shirts. I mean, we came back from
Will Wheaton joined in.
Yeah.
Will Wheaton joined in. Yes. Yeah, we came back from dinner that night, and there's just a bunch of people sitting out front of the Hyatt as we sort of expected. And every now and then, one of them would just go, "Trevor," in this longing voice, and everybody would respond, "Trevor."
The locals probably hated us that night.
It was quite the sight. It was quite the sight. I saw a tweet somewhere that I guess there was a someone driving a horse and buggy, like a touristy thing, up 4th Street, and they joined in.
Nice.
Which I thought was pretty good. But yeah, it actually got picked up by some local news and apparently some not so local news. I think the first article that I found was actually from somewhere in Florida, which was just
odd.
How they found it, I don't know, but they did.
Hackers have a way.
Hackers have a way. But yeah, I just
Indeed.
This was too funny to not include in the news tonight, guys. So yeah, go search for the hashtag Trevor Forget, and you'll find all kinds of interesting responses, including a couple from Smashburger themselves saying things like, "Please stop."
Over and over and over.
They just kept adding fuel to the fire.
We had the local police come visit.
Oh yeah, the police came. They
the local EMS came to visit.
Yep.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was good, very good. Good, clean fun at DerbyCon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, cockroach. I mean, it wasn't really that clean.
It wasn't that clean. All right, I think we're done with the news. All right, so hey, we finally decided to start up a Slack team. Or wait, a Slack workspace? Is that what they're calling them now? Work group. Oh, that's Windows.
Legacy. Yeah, don't say work group.
PTSD is going to kick in.
It's Slack for work groups.
Wow. It works with Yammer.
Nothing
so anyway,
works with Yammer.
Nothing works with Yammer. So I suppose I included a join link in the show notes. But basically, if you go look us up on Twitter, I've been sharing the join link. I've been doing my best to just make this a public team so that anybody can just join. But Slack doesn't make that easy. So basically, there's a never expiring join link that's on our Twitter feed at the moment. So you can go find that and you can join in the conversation. So far, we have a handful of users in there. Mostly the three of us, and looks like 2 or 3 listeners have joined in. So yeah, we're hoping it turns into something fun. You guys will get to directly suggest topics for us to chat about. We could even turn it into live chat during the shows, even though you can get that through YouTube already. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how we can leverage that.
Yes, please suggest topics. We're running out.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say we're running out, but it is getting. We still got to get back to Docker.
Docker.
So, yeah.
Still last year.
There's a conversation.
It's over.
Jason, you could talk about how you started playing with Kali and Docker.
Oh, you're putting Kali in Docker. I heard that that's a thing now.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
do it. It already existed.
Yes, you're playing with it. Sorry.
In my spare time.
Your endless spare time.
Yeah.
Endless spare time.
Who are you kidding?
So Jason, looks like you had an announcement here as well.
Yeah, B-Sides Delaware is coming up in November, November 10th and 11th this year. The call for papers is open. Registration is open. All the things are open. So if you're interested, the registration link will be in the show notes. Well, the link to the whole shebang is in the show notes, and you can register there and join us. It's a lot of fun.
It's a bit.ly link. Can I trust this?
I mean,
somebody's tracking it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sort of the purpose.
I use bit.ly links. I just get to see a lot of things about you. That's all.
URL shorteners are kind of weird.
Yeah. But would you rather trust a long or a trusted
So
or known
untrustworthy.
URL shortener or a custom
So
one?
so untrustworthy.
Would I steer you wrong?
No. No.
Yes? No.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
actually
I don't know
hoping
either.
I'm hoping that I can bring maybe both of the kids down this year. Kira had a blast last time. That was 2 years ago now, I think.
Yes,
2015.
we are a kid-friendly event. Bring your children. It's okay.
Yeah, if your kids like smashing computers,
Now,
which
now
is
Was
the thing
awesome
that
last
Kira
You-
enjoyed the most.
you need to be a responsible adult. You are still responsible for your child.
Yeah, don't just let your kid run off and do whatever they want. But yeah, it's no, it was fun. I actually had her help me present. We presented the first Hack Your Derby or Hack My Derby while we were there.
Cool.
That was really the main reason that we had gone. But I also wanted to check out B-Sides Delaware because Jason, you'd been going for 2 or 3 years, and I think that may have been the first year you were helping organize. And I finally got a chance to go down. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
it was
I
fun.
don't remember what year I started organizing.
Yeah.
It's been a while though. It's fun.
So yeah, good stuff, good fun stuff. God, there was something else I wanted to announce. I forgot to put it in the notes. I don't know. What's that on your
What?
head?
A hat?
Looks like more than a hat, man. I don't know.
It's a hat with a computer in it?
It's a
A
hat,
hat
with
with a
computer
hat?
in it. A hat with a hat. A hat with a pie. There's a pie in his hat.
Yes, there's pie in my hat. It's a hat pie.
What
Yeah.
kind of
So
pie?
the hack. Oh, that was what I wanted to announce. I remember now. The hack My Derby didn't go quite as well as planned while we were at DerbyCon. Mainly because I think wireless is just such a horrible mess there, and it really depended on wireless for hat-to-hat communication. So I don't know if we can fix that for next year.
Bluetooth.
Maybe Bluetooth. I don't know if Bluetooth would be much better.
No, I think hat-to-hat communication would work better if we had the timing right in it.
Yeah.
I think I determined that there's a timing problem in the code that we'll work on over the summer, or over the winter, and
Yeah, it's definitely
we-
going to need some work.
we'll be in shape for next year. Next year will be much better.
But I mean, in all, it was a fun first run. We did have some minor success at least, but it was mainly between the three of us. I had the master, and you guys each made clients instead of having two separate masters because we only had one real participant outside of the three of us. But hopefully that'll grow.
Yeah.
And the thing that I had forgotten to put in the announcements was that I guess Dustin, we can talk about the changes for Hack Your Derby, huh?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's not official yet, but
Yeah,
it's gonna be. So
it looks pretty likely that at the very least, Dustin and I are going to be taking over the Hack Your Derby contest for next year's DerbyCon, simply because the folks organizing it now may not be able to make it to the conference reliably in the future. So yeah, I'm envisioning that maybe we merge the Hack Your Derby and the Hack My Derby into something a little more inclusive of both.
yeah, I still like the stuff that they have with the homegrown and the on-site derbies, but like incorporating the attack side, I think will be neat too.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah,
if we get some kind of sponsorship, that'd be cool.
I think
Get a
it'll be
bunch of Raspberry Pis.
Yeah, there's
Kinda-
going to be a lot of things to think about. Like, how did they fund the awards? How did they
Yeah.
get buy-in, all that stuff? I don't know. So
We'll figure it out.
we'll work all that out. But yeah, this really happened in the past 4 or 5 days or so. This came about. So, yep.
For
Yep.
those of you that don't know what it is, Nate's been doing it for how many years have you been participated in the Hack Your Derby contest?
Well,
At DerbyCon.
it's 3 years I've been doing derbies. Really, only 2 years that I've been in the contest because the first year the contest wasn't run because the guy who ran it before had to drop out. So it's changed
Interesting.
hands. It will have changed hands 3 times now if this goes through with us. So hopefully this will be the last time.
Yeah. I'm excited.
So-
It'll be fun.
yeah, I think so. I think so too. All right, so on to a less happy note. You guys may have heard the news about the shooting in Vegas. I mean, terrible stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what else I can do other than wish condolences upon both the the families of those lost, and well wishes to those who are survivors and recovering. I mean, horrific stuff. I feel like we have to cover this stuff way too often.
Yeah, these announcements on the show are a bit depressing. Sorry. But,
yeah. I mean, we could just skip over them, but they're worth. I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, this one's pretty raw. So that was this morning, as at the time of recording. So
yeah. I mean,
I guess there's still a lot unknown, but the last count I saw was like 59. I think it was 59 dead and well over 500 injured.
Yeah, it was up to 59. Really, wow,
absolute insanity.
Yeah, it's just growing. I mean, I have long been a supporter of responsible gun ownership in this country, but man, something's got to change.
Agreed. I'm an owner as well.
I don't know what the solution is, but there's got to be something better than one side saying, no, you cannot impede on our rights, and the other side saying, no, you can't own any guns. There has to be something in the middle. There's got to be a middle ground somewhere, and someone's got to step up and find it.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, from what is out so far about this, it looks like this was completely something that nobody would have caught. Allegedly, this guy was well adjusted. He was retired. He was, I think from what I've been reading, they're at a complete loss as to what happened to begin with. Like, why all of a sudden did he do this?
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't have an answer. I just know that this is horrible, and there has to be some way to prevent this. Has to be some way to identify this before, without trampling all over what we consider our rights. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough subject.
All right, so anybody else have anything fun going on since DerbyCon?
That's a hell of a transition.
Yeah, well, I think we've covered it well enough.
Fun going on since DerbyCon. No, I'm working my ass off.
Anything interesting at all? How's that? Dustin's looking around like, I don't know what's around.
Been busy.
Honestly, no
got
idea.
some cool swag.
Yeah, I feel like taking the two, really only, I guess it's 3 days that I lose at work, really just puts a stop to productivity, and then it has to start back up again when I get back.
I've been adding to my Kickstarter fancy playing card collection.
Interesting.
Gotten bigger. That's about it, I guess. I got like 3 packs in recently. All different stuff. Some really neat stuff.
That's quite the collection you have going on there.
I'd bring my collection over, but I can't carry it anymore.
Yeah.
Back there.
Oh, I do have something fun. I have a Windows Vista Security guide, or is that the guild? Yeah, Windows Vista Security Guild coin that I got at DerbyCon.
That's awesome.
I bought it for fun laughs.
I didn't see
Windows
that.
Vista.
Oh, did you get that from Hackers for Charity or something?
You bought it. Yeah. You bought it from Hackers for Charity to donate to Puerto Rico. The money, you get to keep the coin.
Yes, exactly.
Puerto Rico doesn't want a Windows Vista coin.
They'll just throw it. Yeah, don't blame them.
Here, take this. What am I going to do with this? Can I eat it? Can I drink it? No, take it back.
You can barter with it. I don't know.
Only 1 beer tonight. This makes me sad.
I had 0. I'm on the 0 count tonight. Shame.
I see a bottle behind you there. What's that? Probably
this empty. One? That one?
I don't
know. Or that one?
No. Over that way.
Which
probably
way?
Like rubbing alcohol. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Point some more. This makes for great podcast material, guys.
Pointing. This is awesome.
I had this delicious thing last year at B-Sides.
Wow. Russian Imperial Stout.
Yeah, yes. I had to carry them out.
Or were you referring to the Woot Stout? That's empty.
Good old Woot Stout.
Yeah.
Woot Stout.
I don't think I've tried that yet. Did I have any when I was over your place? I don't remember.
We know a place where we can get it near you.
I
That
don't
place is all about fancy
remember.
mugs.
Maybe.
I can't remember if I had it. I don't think I did. Well, anyway, we can chat about that some other time. We're not trying to entertain all of these thousands of users that we have, correct? Thousands of viewers, right?
Thousands.
Right. There's so many of them. My live chat doesn't load. So.
You sure you just stop blocking it?
Dustin.
All right. Well, let's avoid the train wreck. We'll go straight into the main topic, huh?
Sure.
All right. So DerbyCon. You guys have a good time at DerbyCon?
Yeah.
Always have a good time at DerbyCon. See all the friends we've met over the years. Drink a lot of mead. Help those in need after drinking mead.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess first and foremost, let's chat a little bit about the awesomeness that came out of DerbyCon in the aid that they're sending to Puerto Rico. Jason, you were a little closer to that.
Yep. So as soon as I figure out how my mute button works.
It's muted. What do I do?
Basically, there's a couple of people, some bigger names in the security community who go to DerbyCon every year, and they're from Puerto Rico. And one of the guys, actually, his wife had just had a baby, and he was slated to do a training at DerbyCon. So he was going to cancel because of the hurricane coming, and his wife basically told him, no, all these people are going early to be trained by you. Get going, get on the plane and go down there. So he came down. And
is he an instructor for SANS? I think he is, isn't he?
He might be an instructor for SANS. I don't remember if it was SANS or his own training that he was doing.
Okay.
So he came down and he did the training, and of course, there was a hurricane, and the world kind of got turned upside down in Puerto Rico. So he had been a bit of a wreck, trying to make sure his family's okay and etc. So he went through the week of training, and then towards after DerbyCon proper got started, there was a big movement to help after they found out how bad Puerto Rico was. There's a big movement to try to figure out what we can do to help. So a group of people, which included Johnny Long from Hackers for Charity, kind of got together and said, what can we do in the hacking community to try to help out? And the thought is they have no communications because their entire communications grid is knocked out along with their power. So what they've done is send, and they're still sending, actually. They've sent a number of radios down, handheld radios that are specially programmed, and lithium batteries, and solar panels, so that they can charge them and charge the radios. And that's all been sent down to Puerto Rico to get a local neighborhood watch up and running out of San Juan to keep, kind of keep down on crime, as well as
disaster. Out comes the looters.
Allegedly, although we can talk about that later.
Yeah, sure.
So, in addition, they sent down radios to the local government as well. So, the Puerto Rican mayor, Mayor Cruz, who is pretty awesome, by the way. So she's in contact with them, and they're in contact with the local police department and EMS, and they're getting radios to them as well, along with some larger solar panel setups and batteries for them, so they can charge a little bit more and do a little bit more with it. So that's been going on. I've been working with them a little bit, help them get hooked up with a cargo plane down there, and let's see, they got back in Puerto Rico, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. So that was the guys from DerbyCon with a very basic, as much as they could take in their carry-on. And then we sent down a pretty big shipment on Saturday on the cargo plane. And then I guess there's another plane that's going to be going out shortly with an even bigger load of stuff. So, and all this was just money that was raised through the conference, talking to other conference organizers, and then through the Hackers for Charity auction that Dustin got his coin in.
And don't forget the Trevor Forget T-shirts.
Yes, Trevor. May he rest in peace.
And his son too.
Trevor, yes, his son did a header off the top of the Hyatt.
Oh right.
So he his cause has raised apparently well over $2,000 for Puerto Rican relief as well. So that's through T-shirt sales.
Was it so there were two different things. There was a GoFundMe in Trevor's name that raised some money, and then there was the T-shirts, and I don't know the numbers on both separate things. But yeah, several $1,000s have been raised because of a dead cockroach, which
right. and overall we've as a whole we've raised several tens of thousands for Puerto Rico relief
from DerbyCon.
I mean, I wouldn't just say DerbyCon. There have been other conference organizers, as Jason mentioned.
Right. So, I don't remember all of them. DerbyCon, NolaCon, B-Sides DC, B-Sides Charm, B-Sides Delaware. And I can dig up an article. I don't remember the rest. Apologies. But before anybody went to individuals, they went to the conferences first, and the conferences ponied up. I want to say it was well over $10,000 for the initial relief, and they have, I think, at least doubled it. I think they may have tripled it at this point, with additional people giving money over time. So it's still going strong. We know that they don't have food and water and those sorts of necessities. We did send, I believe we sent water straws over as well, because water is in certain areas is not, it's kind of at a premium.
Jay, explain what those are for people who don't know they are.
Water straw is basically a fancy filter. They're actually kind of cool. They fit, well, they have all sorts of different types, but some of them fit just in normal, like those plastic water containers that everybody likes to carry these days. So, as a tech group of people, we figured our would be better for us to stick with what we know and send over aid that we figured would help, which would be radios. And by doing that, we're hoping to make sure that, if there's communications are up, that would help tremendously to get the stuff that is over there distributed, and be able to call for help if needed. So.
Yeah, so all very, very good work came out of DerbyCon and many other conference organizers and conferences. So that's pretty damn cool. I mean, every year I'm at DerbyCon, there's always something. There's always something to give to. For the past several years, it was Johnny Long and I had Hackers for Charities in their African technology work, the hackerspace that he made and the school that he made and the restaurant that he built. Now he's back local, and to be honest, I have to say that I'm happy for that. I'm happy. Like, the work he did in Africa was awesome. It's nice to see him working on some domestic problems, though. I mean, charity is charity. I'm happy to see him giving wherever he's giving and improving wherever he's improving. But I don't know. I have to say that it feels like there's enough issues here that he can do real good here as well. So
yep.
Good on Hackers for Charity.
Yep. So I spent a good portion of my DerbyCon working with the Puerto Rico relief team. I also worked I was on DerbyCon staff this year for the first time, which was fun. And so you guys actually got to see most of the talks.
I wouldn't say most, but
right.
I did get to see. I got to see talks, which you didn't.
Yeah, I got to see.
I saw one.
Talks too.
So first, I got to say that the keynotes. I mean, there was a keynote on PowerShell. I'd have to look it up honestly to see who it was that gave it, but it was good, but it a little more offense centric. Not really my thing. But John Strand's talk, which was a much different format that I'm used to seeing at DerbyCon, was really good. He talked about, well, it was all related to his mother, who passed away, I guess, about a year ago, and about it was a lot of his thoughts on the industry and vendors and how there was some legal talk about. I guess there are clauses in some vendor agreements that say you can't badmouth them, basically, which was pretty surprising from my angle. But yeah, he talked a bit about how that's actually not legal. He talked about seeing his mother. Hey, you guys back? I see
Now I
motion.
can hear you.
I see motion.
Yep. You're back. You've decided to join us again.
Yay.
That's
I'll be
that
back.
weird lag again that we saw last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what's up.
It's my fault. I'm here again. That's why.
Yeah, right.
The coincidence.
All right, where's
Nah.
that disconnect button?
Oh.
Are you gonna hang up on him? That's not cool.
Wait, can I like mute him and stuff? Oh, he muted himself.
What?
I could
What?
actually do stuff.
Wubble,
What? Don't you do that?
wubble up dub dub.
I can mute.
And I can mute you.
Man,
boy.
this is gonna go downhill
All
fast.
right, or the gun south. All right, so let's roll back to where you were. You can stitch it together later.
Let me just note where this happened, so it's easy to find later. All right. So on the recording, I finished talking about the keynote, and I asked you guys what you thought of the keynotes. So go.
I didn't see the
Again.
I didn't see the keynotes.
You didn't. Hang on. You had broken up again.
I'm still breaking up.
What? Yeah. I mean, I didn't get most of what you said. You didn't see the keynotes?
No, I didn't see the keynotes because I was running around doing. Well, I actually was in the speaker ready room hanging out with John Strand before the keynote.
Wow.
And
Right.
Dustin,
I think we're gonna have to try to write
it.
up the issues because you guys.
I didn't hear
Listen to
anything.
him blame us.
What's going on here?
Listen to him blaming us.
Oh, it's easy.
All right, I guess it's time for
Blame
me to
game.
log into the router and see what's going on.
Sure.
Oh,
I see you, Jason. I can hear you.
yeah. That's. It's
Yeah,
funny
you
because he's saying he's having problems. I'm literally on a server right now with no lag whatsoever, sitting in his basement. I think it's him. I think it's his problem.
Could
Yeah,
be.
because I saw you moving the whole time. I saw Nate freeze. He was like this.
Could be. I'm not ruling out that this is a problem from my end.
Did you put a robot in place now? Robot Nate? Never mind.
Just trying to
Joke
look
is-
at,
Nate,
joke is
huh?
past.
see if there's some kind of bandwidth spike or something going on. There is.
Aha.
On my stuff, is it?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far.
Faster.
I'm on a Monopoly.
It shouldn't be. My stuff is all
internet
turned
connection.
off at this point.
Should be good. Too big to break.
This has got to make for a great YouTube video now.
Yeah. If anybody's
Matt is still there. Matt says, I think it's catching up.
yeah.
Quick, get out of the way.
So whatever's on interface 13, Jason.
I can't
That's
even
what's
get
hitting
the
it.
switch at the moment or the router.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why.
Live troubleshooting, guys.
Isn't that awesome?
That's the
I'm
way to
not
do
seeing
it.
any problems at all, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
There's
Let's
3
see.
people watching now.
Probably all us.
Don't forget to thumbs up on the YouTube video
Awesome.
and subscribe.
Somebody plugged something into port 13. It didn't tell me, so it's labeled as empty.
Listen, if I have to walk downstairs and look at port 13,
It's
It's a bad number.
It's downloading. Yeah, that's probably what's doing it. It's downloading quite a bit.
huh?
I could shut it off.
The heck was that?
It's a whip. Crack the whip.
The whip, man.
Oh, Dustin's getting tired. He's getting a little loopy.
Getting a little punchy.
Let me
I'll
just
put myself on mute.
Let's see.
Things to do while waiting. Puzzle. Just kidding. I wish I could help, but I'd probably make it worse if I had access to your Switch. You didn't tell me you were using that. Or just shut it off.
You have a lot of faith there in yourself, don't you?
Oh, hey. I've learned. Worked with myself too long. Interesting person. Or is it my personality?
Troubleshooting people.
Which
This is what
personality?
Sysadmin is all about.
Troubleshooting people?
Troubleshooting.
Troubleshooty.
Oop. It's almost time for bed.
Someone's getting iPhone messages.
That was my bed reminder. Go to bed. Go to bed. It's 10:30. Go to bed. I always ignore it. Need to change it. Jason, do you still have that one app that's still working, even though it's not 64-bit ready?
Yes.
That you successfully restored to a new device and it's still working, but you can't control it.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
Okay, I can say it's not my server.
Hoorah.
Double checked.
Hoorah.
I'm gonna double check this server just to make sure. Let's see. I can actually give you the MAC address.
I think
Not my server.
Dustin's putting it on his Derby. Mine's in the back of the car still. I never unloaded it.
No. Poor little
this,
Derby.
This podcast is going sideways.
It is.
Is that a different dimension? It's not C-137? Rick and Morty? No.
Sorry, missed the reference there.
He lives in the acceptable, not dimension, I forget what he calls it, but we would understand it as a dimension of C-137. I don't know. You have to watch some episodes. It's all up there on adultswim.com.
And Rick and Morty.
And Rick and Morty.
Of course.
Actually, the one Trevor actually, go ahead.
So quick, Nate seems to be responding and still moving. Let's
Uh-huh.
finish this up while we can.
See.
Yeah, I
Trying to
think
figure out what the server is.
I think I may
Hey,
know
Rick-
which system it is.
Ah.
Did you say you can get the Mac?
Can you put the Mac out on the? Can you read it out loud for us?
Yes.
Yeah, just read that out loud.
The Mac is DE:AD:
You could just like Slack it or something
BE:
if you wanted
EF.
Dead beef.
to. Awesome. All right, I guess we'll see if we
IPv6,
can
what
get
does
through
that
the rest
mean?
of the show.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I guess we'll
I'm
see if we
talking
can just
over
get
you
through the
again.
rest of the show. Yeah, stop
All
it.
right.
Damn it. I'm gonna mute you.
Okay, cool. So, in 3, 2, 1, yeah. So keynotes. I didn't see any keynotes because I was busy hanging out with the keynote speaker before he keynoted.
Man, lucky you.
Look
Yeah.
at me.
Just hanging
So-
out with all the cool kids. Is that why you did that whole volunteering thing?
Yes. I hung out with all the cool kids. I got to hang out with John Strand. I got to hang out with the Corgi Man.
What about Paul?
No. So it turns out a lot of the guys who've spoken before don't bother going and hanging out with speaker ops anymore.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They know where they need to be and when, so they just sort of show up for their talks. But yeah, get to hang out with a lot of people. It was neat. So it was hanging out with them and doing a lot of the Puerto Rico relief stuff and kind of watching, checking every once in a while, make sure there's speakers in rooms, etc. So staff is fun.
Cool. Yeah, I got to hang out in the room there with you every now and then while I was between talks and between whatever I was doing. It was kind of neat to be able to just kind of sit down and chat with some of the folks that were coming up. Not to mention
Right.
just some of the staff. I mean, the staff are fun.
We try. I can
Yeah.
say that now.
Yeah.
Ah,
How about you, Dustin?
keynote talks. What?
Yeah, I mean, whichever.
I enjoyed it. Last year we spent all that time putting a derby together. So this year it was kind of like my first time to actually like go out and go to the talks. And I attended one that was pretty interesting. It was about scanning for different devices like Bluetooth versus BLE, which is a Bluetooth low energy, and then using some open source tools to look at the UUID registers and figure out what type of device it is, and then actually being able to play with it, I guess, for lack of a better word, turn it off, make it ring like. So for example, the Tile lost device trackers that are BLE based, apparently the security is very poor on those. And you can actually trigger them to
surprise.
surprise. You can actually trigger them to make an alert when you're looking for a device. So he's talking about
Wait, I
ways to
see
do
those
that.
things in Facebook ads. What do you mean they're low quality?
I like them. But I fully accept that they're, they may not be the most secure things, but they're a lifesaver. I've lost keys. Well,
I
put it
bet.
this way.
Listen,
as my wife says, go ahead.
I've got 2 little kids. Like I would paste them on the back of every toy they own if I could.
Oh yeah, but they're ridiculous.
Where's my bear? I can't find my bear. I can't go to sleep without my bear. Hang on. Your bear is in the living room. Go get it.
It's ringing. Go get it.
Yeah.
I've never actually lost anything. I just misplace things. That's what my wife says. Like, you never actually lose anything. Like, for me to lose something, it's very rare. I just usually leave it somewhere, like in my car or, under a couch somewhere. I don't think I've actually lost my wallet ever. Gotten close. Leaving it in a parking lot kind of counts, but
that would
returning,
be close to losing it. Yes.
Yeah. And an iPhone 3GS that was in a white case in the middle of a highway between 2 lines, the dotted white line to separate the passing lane and the travel lane.
You have some sort of a guardian angel looking over your personal items.
How the hell did you lose? You know what? Never mind.
No, it's an awesome story. So here,
I don't want to know. I just don't want to know.
It was on top of my car. I took off to go right at the light to merge, and when I took off, it slid off. It was in a silicone case, so it kind of gripped, but I guess it didn't grip too well.
Not enough.
Not enough. Searched hours for it, and then I drove by and I saw this thing. I said, that line doesn't look right. And I said, I have a white case. Yeah, and that's what it was. And it didn't have a crack, a scratch. Nobody ran it over. I was surprised.
That's luck. That's luck.
Yeah,
right
and then I
there.
sold that to somebody on eBay and switched to Android for 8 years.
Nice.
Now I'm back. Yeah.
So yeah, I saw Ed Scotus. I saw his talk on his office automation, and I don't mean like Microsoft Office. I mean his actual steampunk office above his garage.
So not macros
Pretty.
script.
What's that?
Not
Not
macros.
macros and VB script. Although I'm pretty sure that if you were determined enough, you could probably make his office explode.
Don't pick on Ed. He gave us all pie.
Gave us pie, and he gave us Holiday Hack.
Yes.
So I mean,
Yes.
those are two very good.
And I'm being quite literal. He he bought a he's paid for a sponsorship for a booth at DerbyCon and
So he can
served
serve
everybody pie.
That is pretty awesome.
Indeed. Was it raspberry by chance?
He's I don't know. I didn't actually get any. I forget what I was doing at that point.
Was there a raspberry pie? I think it was a berry pie of some sort. It might have been cherry though. But yeah, it was some good pie. It's very good pie.
Cherry pie? They've written songs about cherry pie.
There were like 5 or 6 different types of pie. It was awesome.
Nice. There were root beer floats too, I heard.
Yeah. Hacks, right? Hacks for pancakes.
Which I also
Leslie does her root beer floats every year.
I'm gonna have to try to get a root beer float next year. I like root beer, and
I miss out on the root beer floats every year.
Yeah.
Next year we will get one.
So yeah, but Ed Scotus's talk was really cool. If anybody's interested in automation, like he's got voice. Yeah, he's got voice commands that control pretty much every aspect of his office. He's got like a little robot dog that he can talk to. He's got like lights that'll come on. It all responds to him through the speaker of an old Atwater Kent, which is like those old desktop radios that were like cathedral shaped. I mean, it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. I mean, I grew up in a household full of classic radios because my dad is into refurbishing them, and seeing some of the same radios in Ed's office and the way he's just like hacked them to pieces to make them work with his modernized automation stuff, which is really cool. But yeah, I mean, it's really, really cool stuff, really neat stuff.
All I hear you saying is that he has an awful lot of time on his hands.
He must because I mean, I would love like this room that I'm in right now. It's an attic office that I would love to turn into something awesome. And I just feel like the amount of time and money that I'd have to invest into making it all happen is just completely unrealistic for me. And yet he's this successful guy who does all these cool things, and he's got the time to do it. I don't know how he does it.
I have no idea. He does have some pretty cool stuff, though.
Maybe he has figured out the secret to 36-hour days. I've been trying, and I haven't found it yet.
36-hour days. Wow.
That would be a long day.
It would be. But think of all the extra stuff you could get done. Maybe you could get done your own stuff for a change and not just the stuff you have to do for work, right?
Maybe he's one of those guys that can like live on like an hour of sleep a day.
Maybe he is. That could be it. Maybe he just doesn't sleep much. That would be almost as good as a 36-hour day, unless you also feel tired all the time. I don't think I could handle that.
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, he's got a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, that he does. I also saw Paul Asadorian's talk. It was like 12 things. Yeah. What was it, like 12 things
how does that go again?
Kung Fu movies have taught me about infosec or something? I forget what the title was.
Yes.
Yeah, that. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Really entertaining talk. He does a really good talk. I mean, it was pretty good stuff. Yeah, that's right. Dustin,
he engaged everybody too. Yeah, we went together on that one. We really had everybody participating. It was cool.
It was good.
Yeah, Paul's an entertaining guy.
What did everybody say? Oh, go ahead.
I can't remember. I didn't.
In Kung Fu movies.
In the Kung Fu movies.
Yeah, something like that. With every title. That was cool.
Yeah, but I mean, again, Adrian has all of these recorded and up online. You can watch them. I mean, I think he had them recorded and online before the talks were over.
Who is Adrian? What's his handle? What's his website?
Gee, that would be Iron Geek. It is irongeek.com, isn't it?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah. You can also find him on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel that he has all this stuff published under. So yeah, good stuff. I mean, that stuff's up like, I swear it borders on future, like time travel. He somehow gets them posted as they're happening or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Pretty
I'm pretty
impressive.
sure he's working on the 2018 postings right now.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, he's good. Let's see, what other talk did I go to? Oh, I sat in on one that I thought might actually have some insight, where this guy was talking about how he survived ransomware twice.
Oh, you.
Turns out he just kept backups.
Yeah. I remember you talking about that.
Which is kind of the thing that you do to avoid. I thought he had some like cool insight on how to detect it or stop it. Nope. I had backups. Oh, okay, good. Thanks.
Cool. Glad.
One of the times his backup got encrypted.
Yep.
Oops.
Which, yeah, apparently he keeps his backup on like a network attached drive. So yeah.
Oops.
I'm like, man. He's like, oh, it was only my backup this time. I'm like, wait, only your backup. Only
your backup.
like, oh, that's fine. Just my backup got encrypted. Anyway, I don't want to
data and his backup.
I don't want to disparage the guy because, you know, I mean, I got up and left his talk because I had something else I wanted to do, but it was only a stable talk because I could have stayed the extra 10 minutes to see the end of it. Maybe he had some cool insight at the end, but it didn't seem like it was going that way. So, hey guys, you can protect against ransomware by having backups.
Really? I never thought of that.
It's weird, right?
Wait,
like
we
no one
rely
thought
on
of this
backups?
a year and a half ago.
Well, right, but I mean, you know, that's you sitting in this room, and other people like don't have backup, so it's sort of a new concept.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, maybe somebody learned something from that talk. I just feel like I have submitted talks to DerbyCon that have been declined, which I think were of at least equal quality to that talk. I feel like I've been cheated. That's what it comes down to. I'm jealous.
It's okay, mate. It's okay.
Yeah.
That you so next year submit a talk about it's all about the abstract. You got to be able to write that abstract so it sounds amazing.
Yep.
It's all about the title. And the
How to survive ransomware twice.
And FireEye didn't help me. Is FireEye even still fun to talk about? Or have they just defeated their brand?
I don't know. You're talking about them.
You're talking about them, so I guess it's fun.
Yeah, but I was part of an integrator, so it's kind of stuck, you know. And I'm technically a certified FireEye whatever, which doesn't mean anything.
You're certified, all right.
You're a certified FireEye whatever. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. SOBs. I mean, they're great. They do. They are great. I like their products.
Oh well, there goes that sponsor.
Yeah, right.
Oh, don't worry. They'll be back.
Yes, we apologize, FireEye. We're firing this guy as soon as we get off the podcast.
See you later.
Bye, folks.
That's all, folks.
All right. So did you see any other talks, Dustin?
Yes. Part of a social engineering one. About the guy that was running the SE Village this year. I can't think of his name right now.
Okay.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris. And I don't remember. I think there was one more I sat in and I wasn't very interested in. But most of them we walked up in the room.
I saw Geoff Thayer's talk, which was really good. He basically, so he probably heard him on Paul's Security Weekly. He's one of the usual panelists that he has on the main show, the weekly show.
Resident Australian.
Yes, the resident Australian, the guy with the accent that sounds awesome, and it really isn't that hard to understand. Sometimes Australian accents are really thick. His isn't. It's really good. Anyway, him and one of his clients got together and did a partner talk where the client talked about, like the state they were in before they first engaged Black Hills, and then of course Joff talked about the sort of things that they were going after, at this guy's business. I think he said they were in the financial district or financial sector, if I remember correctly. But anyway, it was really interesting because there was this like progression of like, okay, Black Hills did this and the client did that, and then Black Hills did this and the client did that, and at the end of it, it was like Joff was dropping 0 days to try to break into the guy's network because he couldn't find any other way in, which was pretty cool. I thought it was a pretty entertaining talk. That and Dave kept trying to ice Joff during the talk.
He was icing everybody. He was going into every talk and icing people.
I mean, seriously, go. Well, I'll describe it in a minute, but go watch the video because Joff. So like the folks from Black Hills, including John, and the folks from Binary Defense were in the front rows. Right, and every time Dave would come in with an ice, Joff would yell, "Deploy countermeasures!" And one of the groups would get up, and they'd all have ice, and they would run after Dave, like corner him, and he'd run away. It was hilarious. Awesome. It was hilarious.
Dave was trying to get the guy that was doing the SE talk, the social engineering talk, and he had another person helping him dressed in a clown suit, like a scary clown suit. And I actually missed. I had to step out at that point after he iced him. But I guess later on he came back around, and he was actually in the costume, and the speaker didn't know that they switched place in the hall, and then he ended up scaring the guy that was speaking. It was pretty good. Talk about
I'm gonna have to look up that talk and try to watch that just for that.
It
sounded hilarious. He described it in the closing ceremonies. So icing, this is, I don't even know how this started, but the concept is that they keep a bunch of Smirnoff Ice on at the ready, and originally it was just that they kept it at room temperature, and if they were to offer you one of these Smirnoff Ices, you were, I don't want to say obligated, but you were expected to drink it. Obviously, if you're not a drinker or whatever, there are exceptions. You're not forced to drink it. But yeah, that's how it started. Then I think the following year you could buy bracelets that would benefit Hackers for Charity, in order to protect yourself from being iced. And then if the person icing you had more bracelets than you did, then he could ice you anyway. And it's really just escalated from there. This year they had a non-alcoholic option, which was V8, spicy V8.
Spicy V8, yeah.
Spicy V8.
I've never had a spicy V8, but it does not sound pleasant. But
these are all superheated cans, so this is not like
nowadays they're not just room temperature anymore. Now they're heated up in some way.
They had Zima too.
Microwave. It can't be a microwave, can it? That would not work with a metal can or.
They probably use those instant hot packs or whatever.
Yeah, they do something to actually heat the things up. Ed Scotus got iced, and apparently he doesn't drink because he got a V8. And every person I saw that one of these were handed to, whether it was the V8 or the ice, they're like, "Oh, it's hot."
You know who else got iced?
Who else got iced?
Jason got iced.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You iced him. Yeah.
I did. Yes, it was wonderful.
But yeah, Ed Scotus opens up the can of V8. And he's expecting it to be horrible, and he takes a sip, and he's like, "You know what that is? It's tomato soup. It's tomato soup on demand." He's just like, "Yeah, tomato soup."
Didn't bother him at all.
No, he drank some of it. I guess he didn't finish it though. So,
what was the gross flavor they were talking about bringing next year? The soda flavor? It was like ranch something.
Oh yeah, it was like ranch something soda.
Can you imagine that being hot?
There's a ranch soda.
It was, Dave mentioned it in the closing ceremony. It was like ranch dressing and pickles or something. I forget what it was. But it sounded horrible. It's like, who would even make that?
Imagine having it like hot instead of cold. At least if it's cold, it might taste a little better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ranch soda. I don't understand ranch soda.
I don't either. He said it was like a ranch dressing soda. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I
Did
don't
you guys-
understand ranch dressing either. So
You don't understand
Well,
ranch what?
I enjoy ranch dressing on a salad. I don't know if I would drink it in a soda.
Also known as Cool American. When you buy, Doritos, Cool Ranch chips in other countries, it's an American flavor.
Oh, okay. Because they don't have ranch dressing in other
I guess.
in
Well, they
other
live on the ranch,
countries.
so, they just-
they
Nice.
just want to point out how crazy us Americans are.
Yep. They eat this stuff on their Doritos, weirdos.
So you talk about weird flavored sodas. Did you ever have the Jones Soda Company flavored sodas, where they have the Thanksgiving box set?
I have actually. I've had a couple of them. I don't know if I've had anything that weird from them though.
Yeah, I don't think I've had anything weird either. I think the weirdest was the turkey flavored soda.
Aren't they out of Syracuse?
I don't know.
My brother-in-law went to my brother-in-law and I went to a football game up in Syracuse because he's a big Syracuse fan years ago, and I want to say that it was big there because they were based there or something,
Oh, cool.
or they were like a product of Syracuse University, or I don't know.
Hey,
This could be all completely wrong. I don't remember.
They did the D&D sodas. I got those.
Oh, right.
B&B?
So outside of talks, I mean, DerbyCon is fun. DerbyCon is awesome. What else did we partake in?
MeadCon?
Anybody? Yeah. Well, I was thinking outside of the drinking.
Oh.
The drinking is a given.
Amazing food.
Yes.
Oh yes. What was that place called? Ceviche.
Ceviche.
That's good stuff. So usually on Sunday night, for you listeners who aren't familiar with this phenomenon, usually on Sunday night, which is after the con is over and we're pretty much just waiting around for the next day to take our trip home, we'll go out and have a nice dinner. There's a couple people that are on staff for the conference that we hooked up with. I think the first year we were there. That's pretty much how we met them. And we've always gone out on Sunday night with these folks and have a nice dinner. And some of the security staff, just some of the staff in general. And this year we went to Ceviche, which was pretty good. Usually we go to, what is it, Jack Fry's, the name of the place? Mm-hmm. Both very good restaurants. Ceviche, I mean, I would say it's definitely on par with Jack Fry's. Had an awesome skirt steak.
Yeah, definitely.
And those
really
mashed
good
potatoes that came with it. I mean, everybody at the table was like, these mashed potatoes are awesome. They're even better than the steak.
It was really good.
I didn't think that was possible. But yeah, good stuff. So, for the last year at the Hyatt, though.
Legacy.
I don't know. It's going to be missed. So, Dustin, this is only your second year at DerbyCon. What do you think of it? I mean, I've been there 6 years now. Jason's been there all 7, right? You haven't missed any, have you?
Nope, not planning on it either.
Yep. So, what do you think about it as a newcomer?
I enjoy it. It's very welcoming. I mean, there are a lot of people, so at first, you're kind of inundated with just the amount of bodies that are everywhere. But I mean, you could literally go up and talk to anybody, waiting in line to go see a talk, or outside, just hanging out with other people. I mean, it's a pretty cool place. And this year, I was indoctrinated to the Church of Wi-Fi, so I had my shot of whiskey, my cracker, and a nice paddle to the butt, and it was glorious.
Yep.
There's a lot of funny little things. Yeah, Evil Moog. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Rich and I both got welcomed into the Church of Wi-Fi because of the Derby project from 2 years ago.
Cool.
That was interesting. That was actually at MeadCon. We were hanging out in Adrian's room, and
that was
Stacey
still
was
at the
there.
hand, right?
That was the hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no paddle.
Was new. Yeah.
There was no paddle then. I think the paddle was much worse than the hand.
I had part of a QR code, embroidered into my bum. Could be worse.
God, that's terrible. That is terrible. I think Rich outright enjoyed it. He ended up as a GIF on Twitter.
It was pretty awesome too. Whoever did it, the timing was perfect. Every wind up, there was like no skip. It was very good.
Yep. No, that was Khalil took that video. I saw him doing it because I was getting the video for Rich, and Khalil was standing right next to me getting the video that he ended up turning into that GIF.
It's cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna drink any mead next year.
You lightweight.
Every year I drink
We took
mead.
care of
It just sneaks up on me. It's like I'll be drinking mead. I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Have another one. I'm feeling still pretty. Oh wow! I just get hit with a ton of mead. It was not pretty this year.
0 to slobbery.
That's okay.
Yeah, it really wasn't good. I think I just need to space the mead out more. Mead is good though. If any of our listeners
sounds wonderful.
Yeah, if any of our listeners have not tried mead, you should. Do not drink it like beer. It is not like beer.
Jason, you always explain mead really well. What is it?
It's just a honey wine. I mean, it's made out of honey, essentially.
So
That's literally what mead stands for.
The thing with mead is that it goes down easy. It's sweet. It doesn't have the bite of alcohol. Unless you get that lemongrass crap we had 2 years ago or last year.
That wasn't a bite of alcohol. That was just a kick in the teeth of lemongrass flavor.
That was like, here, we put some grass clippings in a can and call it mead. That I don't think I could get drunk on that mead.
I'm not sure what was mead about it. It was oh my God, was it horrible?
That was horrible. But yeah, if you're gonna drink mead, drink small amounts and drink it slowly, because take it from me, it hits you. Unless that's just me. I don't know about you guys, how you feel about mead.
I'm usually the slobbery drunk one every year at MeadCon, and this year I was not, which was surprising because I drank quite a lot.
Which is good because you were taking care of me, man. I can't believe that snuck up on me like that. It was bad.
It happens, man. It's all good.
Yep. All right, so
that's DerbyCon in a nutshell.
Have we covered DerbyCon well enough? I think we have.
What else you got for us there, Master of the Iron Sysadmin?
Well, I've got this 3-hour closer that you complained about last time around.
Oh, that's right. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and go to sleep now.
You're going to lose your derby, man. Be careful.
I got it.
All right, I think we're going to wrap it up for tonight, folks. I think you know where to find us. Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. Well, I guess you can't search Slack for us, but all those other places, just search for Iron Sysadmin and you'll find us. Like I said before, or like I said in previous episodes, we definitely appreciate all of our Patreon patrons. Please keep it up, as long as you can. Anyway, your donations are always welcome and they're very useful. Yeah, I think that covers it all. Was that short enough for you?
Just throw an Iron Sysadmin in Google and you'll find us.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it.
Apparently we're SEO'd like mad. It's great.
Oh, I forgot. I actually, for the Slack link, I made a redirect. If you go to ironsysadmin.com/Slack, you will get to our Slack join link. So there you go. ironsysadmin.com/Slack.
Fancy
Indeed. This is the whole reason that I have a domain, just so I can redirect all the things, because this is how I get around having to pay for stuff.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Well, to everyone who has tuned in live, which I think we've lost everyone after our little network debacle. Thank you for tuning in.
Live troubleshooting.
Yeah, you missed out on the live troubleshooting, which will happily be edited out. All right, to everybody listening, thanks for listening, and we will catch you. Oh, next time around, we should have John back to talk about OpenStack again. So look forward to that, episode 25. It should be next Monday, because we're recording.
Next Monday, yes. John is expecting to be on next Monday. I saw him. Yep. I saw him this past weekend. So
awesome. So yeah, we're hoping that'll be another fun OpenStack evening, and then after that, hopefully, we'll get back to the Docker talks we were having. And then I have a couple ideas we're coming up. Has agreed to chat about securing WordPress or properly setting up WordPress. I think that'll be a valuable thing, since WordPress has such a bad name.
Yeah, poor WordPress.
Yep, poor WordPress. So that'll be coming up probably in the next couple of weeks. So, all right, everybody, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
All right. I would say thank you to the YouTube listeners, but I think you're viewers, but I think you're all gone. Thanks.